From basic to bougie, we're at MGM Grand and we're breaking down 4 different room categories so you know exactly what you're getting before you hit reserve. We're going to start off with the bougie. This is the MGM Marquee 2-bedroom suite. It comes in at 1,500 square feet. You have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a huge living space. Of course, you have the wow factor right when you walk into the room. You have a pool table. Just slaps you in the face like, here you are, you're in Vegas, you're ready to party. TVs all over the place, seating all over the place. If you're looking to have a party, I think this would be the greatest place to do that. So you have full seating areas here. You have a dining table on the other side. You just have pretty much anything that you might need. There is a little wet bar area. You can set up your bar. There's an empty fridge in there. You got everything. When you come into this first bedroom, you notice the views. Now, if you go into the other bedroom, you're gonna have a different views because this room kind of wraps around the corner. So it's kind of cool that you have different perspectives. The furniture in here is pretty much all brand new. It smells so fresh and clean, and the carpet was replaced. So it's a lot different than what it used to look like. The bathrooms weren't really remodeled, they were kind of like refreshed. They kept the same tile, the same countertops, they refreshed the hardware, they got rid of the bathtub and shower combination and just put in a new shower, which does feel a lot cleaner in my opinion. But it's kind of sad that being a big suite like this, there are no bathtubs that are in here. So I kind of like having a bathtub available if I want to soak after a long day. But this bathroom in particular goes out back into the living room. So it's kind of like a Jack and Jill type of bathroom. So if you do have guests, that is the bathroom you're going to use for your guests. The second bedroom is kind of like the mirror image layout of the other bedroom, but you do notice that the headboard is black and it kind of gives it a more elegant look. But again, it has the remodeled furniture with the lighting under the bed. It kind of feels like a floating bed. In this room, you do have a kind of walk-in closet and your bathrobes. Now, the bathroom in here is basically the same idea as you had in the other bathroom. It's just that you don't have the door that leads out into the living room. But again, you have the 2 sinks, no bathtub at all, a nice full-length mirror, and a newer shower. But again, this was not a fully remodeled bathroom, so it doesn't really have a super luxurious feeling in this bathroom. And for being a higher-end suite at MGM Grand, I would have hoped that they would have put some better touches in here, even keeping the same kind of hand soap and shampoo conditioner that they have in their standard rooms. Doesn't really make it feel quite as luxurious as it could. So again, in this room, you're gonna have views for days because you have views in one bedroom, and then you walk out and you go into the living room area and you have just more views. The windows are just sweeping all across. It's pretty fantastic if you want to just hang out and look at the progress here of the A's ballpark. So this has come along since we actually filmed this, but I think it's kind of cool to catch all these views in here. So we're going to start looking at the standard rooms, but before we show you what they look like remodeled, we wanted to show you what they look like before the remodel happened. It wasn't all that bad, but it was really starting to feel dated. The carpet was worn out. The furniture was starting to show some wear and tear, but overall it was pretty decent furniture. And of course you have the bathrooms, which I had mentioned before, and you'll see in the updated version that they were kind of just refreshed and not quite remodeled. But if you ever wonder what happened to the furniture at MGM Grand, well, we have a surprise for you because it's actually taken over to the Excalibur. So if you go over to Excalibur now and stay in the resort tower, you're going to have a room that, wow, looks like the MGM Grand room. So now this is where the old furniture went to live out the rest of its days here at Excalibur. Okay, so now let's head back over across the street to MGM Grand and check out what the remodeled standard rooms look like. So this is the refreshed rooms, and as you can see, it just feels so much more modern, light and bright. One of the things I really like is that lighting under the beds, so you can basically have all the lights off and just have the bottom lights on, and it just kind of feels like your bed's floating, and it just gives you enough light. I love that they have this like a little bench area. You can have some extra seating or maybe put some stuff on top of it. I think they could have used a few more paintings or decorations on the walls, but what they do have is very outer space, and I'm not sure why they went with the outer space theme. But overall, they did a good job. The carpet is so fresh and clean. They have plenty of storage in here, and I love that they now have an empty fridge for you to use in addition to the mini bar. So as I mentioned in the previous room, and you saw in the pre-remodel room, basically the same bathroom with just some touch-ups. So they just added a few things to kind of freshen it up, and they did replace the old shower tub combination and put in just a standing shower with a nice shower door. So the MGM King room, obviously the big difference here is that instead of having two queens, you have one king, but there are a few other differences, like the bench that was over by the dresser is now near the bed here, and this room actually does have a desk and the other one did not. Now the bathroom is exactly the same as the queen bathroom, so we didn't repeat that for you, but you get the idea. So now we're moving on to the MGM Executive King Suite. So this is not really a one-bedroom suite. It's kind of just split up by a divider here, but you have a nice living area with a large couch. You have a little wet bar, and you have like an entertainment center with your TV, and it kind of goes on to the other side into the bedroom where you have another TV on there. So it's a nice layout. We appreciate the size on this. It comes in at 675 square feet, so it gives you just a little bit more space. It's kind of like an upgrade from your standard room, but this is like your first level suite at MGM Grand. This is a good option if you're looking to get a little bit more space and you don't need any extra luxuries. This room isn't going to have your bathrobes. It's going to basically have all of the same amenities, and even the bathroom is not much bigger than what you get in the standard room. You just have the extra sink in here, a little bit more counter space, but it's essentially the same layout as what you get in your standard rooms. I just like having the ability to go and sit in the living room and watch TV and not have to like sit in bed and watch TV. It's just nice having the little bit of extra space, especially if you're going to be here for any length of time, just to be able to spread out and honestly just get away from my husband. Just kidding. So this is not a full review of MGM Grand, although we do have a full review of MGM Grand, and I'll link that here for you and in the description. But I did want to show you the pool area because I think this is an important part of MGM Grand. If you're staying here, obviously you have access to the pool area. They have several pools, and they have probably the best lazy river in all of Las Vegas. I think this one beats out to the one at Mandalay Bay. So I think this is great if you're going to be here with families to hang out in the lazy river, but it doesn't have to just be with families. This is great for couples or if you're coming with friends. This is an amazing pool area. So it's a good reason to choose MGM Grand if you're going to be here in the summer and you're looking for a great pool area. If this video was helpful for you, please hit that thumbs up button. But you guys, we are so close to hitting 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. And if you are not already subscribed, please consider subscribing and help our channel grow. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.